Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's video is a little bit different to what I normally do, but we have ventured back into enamel pin territory. And if you've been here for a long time, you may recall that I've not always found the enamel pin making process to be the most easy of avenues to wander down, and in the past I've had some issues and it was enough to put me off enamel pins for what I thought was going to be the rest of my days. I've used a couple of companies in the past and there was some drama. They really messed up my order. So I did a Kickstarter a few years ago and it was my first one with enamel pins. I sourced a manufacturer, I felt really confident about them. This manufacturer has now gone into a bit of administration. I don't think I need to tell you who it is. I know a lot of people have been having a problem with these people, but halfway through my order I was like, do not make any more, and I went to another manufacturer and I just found the whole process to be terrifying at the time, and this was a few years ago. I found it to be a bit of a minefield with getting some help and support and guidance and just some confidence overall with the whole enamel pin ordering process, from having your artwork to setting the file up to finding a manufacturer to then getting the finished piece in your hands is daunting. And because I had such a terrible experience a few years ago, I told myself that it wasn't something that I wanted to continue with. Of all of the products with my small business, enamel pins has been the one that I was like, nope, I'm throwing in the towel. And usually I persist until I learn and get something right, and it's always trial and error with anything that you order. Sometimes things just don't work out, sometimes a product might not suit your design. And enamel pins was something that I was like, I'd love to get more products made, but I don't want the stress of it. I don't want the ball ache of having just the stress that I felt with the last project was something. It was enough to just be like, no, I'm not doing this again. And then in my inbox, a company reached out to me very recently, just at the end of the summer, and it was around the sort of time that I was doing my Kickstarter. And they reached out and they said, would you like to try us as an enamel pin manufacturer? And I thought, is this the universe sort of prompting me to try again? So the company that reached out to me are GSJJ, and they reached out and said, would you like some free enamel pins that are gifted to you for your YouTube channel, for your shop, and you can test what we're like. You can test the whole process of ordering pins with us. And immediately my gut was like, oh, I don't even want to think about enamel pins ever again. So I've been talking to the team over at GSJJ and they said, we will gift you some pins and you can try us out. So that's what we have done. So I'm going to show you the entire process from start to finish. We are going to take my original illustration and we're going to send it through the entire process of making enamel pins. We're going to do an unboxing and then I will tell you my final thoughts at the end. So hopefully this is everything in a video that you could possibly be looking for, manufacturer name included. So we'll do a bit more waffling at the end of the video, but for now let's jump into getting these enamel pins made. Okay, so what I've done here is I have traced around my original illustration with a basic monoline brush on Procreate. And what I'm going to do is send this to my iMac now and open it up on Illustrator, and we're going to vectorize it. I've also swiped this from my mum. This is a Pantone colour swatch book. This is not essential, you can just pick the colours as you see them on the screen, but this just helps if you can get your hands on a swatch book. They can be very expensive, but you can get them second hand, you can get them on places like eBay. This one's super old, so my mum did warn me that the colours might have, you know, faded a bit over time because it's at least 20 years old, I think, but I thought it was better than nothing, and it just helps you to better pick the colours a bit more accurately for your pins. So now it's time to vectorize our illustration. So I took it into Adobe Illustrator and opened it up, and the first thing you want to do is select your image, and then at the top bar go to Window and select Image Trace. Image Trace will then produce this box, and there's a box that says preset, and I actually went through all of these and just had a bit of a play about, and the one that fit my design best, kind of produced the best results, was high fidelity photo. So then I just clicked OK, and it will do its magic, and it's basically just tracing all of your outlines and creating a vectorized image. This seemed like the most straightforward way of doing it. It takes a few seconds, especially because it's high fidelity, and then once that is done, you can go ahead and click at the top box object, and then you want to click expand. Once you've clicked expand, go back to object, click ungroup, and then you want to do that again, so object ungroup, so make sure you've done that twice, and then you can go ahead and select the background of your illustration. So although I did import this as a PNG without a background, taking it into Illustrator then brings the background back, so you want to remove that, so click the background and delete. You can then see that each individual piece of your illustration, they are their own sort of sections, and they're much easier to colour this way, so that just check it all over, just make sure that they're all okay, and then you can go ahead and use your colour key that you've already made with your colour swatches, and you can start filling in your illustration. I also add a key just for plating, so if you've gone with silver, gold, black nickel tends to be another one that is quite common in the enamel pin world, and then I just started to colour in my illustration and also add the key as well for glitter where I wanted glitter. So just check that all of your areas are isolated. Sometimes with very sharp corners it can miss a teeny tiny bit, so just zoom on in and fill the teeny bits in if you need to, and that's it. That's the quickest, most efficient way I have found so far for vectorizing images. I think there's a couple of ways that you can do it, but this is just the way from my very beginner basic to Illustrator way of doing it was. And I'll also link the video down below for the channel where I actually learned how to do this, because I followed a tutorial myself and just passing it on to all of you. I then went ahead and did it for the dragon pin as well, so here you can see that both my designs are ready to go to the manufacturer. So these are the pins, and they arrived today. They came just after lunch, and they've been sat in my studio ever since. As you can see, they're all sealed up still. I haven't been in them. A little bit apprehensive because it's been a while since I've done enamel pins, and my experiences of enamel pins haven't always been good, so much so that it frightens me even thinking about stepping into this territory again. So yeah, let's no, we're gonna go from this end. Cannot actually describe how scared I am. Oh my word. Oh my god. I mean, I saw the dragon and then I saw the bat, and oh my god. So one of the things that really puts me off about enamel pins in general, and it's not just this manufacturer, it's manufacturers as a whole, is they are adamant on wrapping them individually in little plastic bags that cannot be recycled. I did ask this manufacturer during the ordering process, like, can you put these onto you know, a strip of polystyrene that's been used for a delivery or something? Can we poke it through a sheet of cardboard and then sort of lay them into a box? But they said no, and it's not something that they do. I want to see that change in the enamel pin industry. It would be great if that could actually happen, but just as a standard, this is how I see the majority of enamel pins arrive with people. Oh my goodness. Oh my word, my faith in enamel pin manufacturing may have been restored. Oh my goodness, look how adorable that is. These have come out so beautifully. I'm honestly a little bit speechless. I'm really excited about the glitter in the wings as well. That was one of my mishaps from ordering enamel pins in the past, is this iridescent glitter is one of my favourites to see in enamel pins, and when I tried to order pins from a previous manufacturer, they just couldn't get the glitter right in the enamel, so it's always frightened me a little bit, and I'm always in awe of how well other people's pins come out, because I just had such a disaster of an experience previously. But these guys have honestly kind of restored a lot of much needed confidence, to be honest, within the enamel pin industry. So that one, I think the bat might be my favourite, but I'll let you pick. So let's have a look at the dragon. Now I went with these two designs because they've always been a popular one within the rest of my work. I've had both of these pins actually as wooden pins, and they both sold out really quickly. Oh my goodness, look at this little baby. Isn't that adorable? They've come out so well. I cannot get over it. These are just so damn cute. And again, this one has got the iridescent glitter, even though it's quite a small space within the, it's just in the wings, so it's not quite as obvious as the backed one, but it's still just a little bit of a nice subtle shimmer. They are beautiful. I'm so happy with them. The colours are beautiful as well, like exactly how I imagined they'd be. They've just come out beautifully. I'm so happy with these. So just something else to note, I have just picked up on the fact that this one is double clutched and this one is single. I'm assuming they just thought this one wouldn't need a double and this one would. And I'm also noticing a difference in just the finish on the back. So yeah, it doesn't matter, it doesn't change the design at all. It's just, you know, it's just a difference between the two pins. They have put their branding on the back, but I think it shows that they can do that. But I think that's, you know, to demonstrate that if you wanted to, you could put your own branding on the back of the pins. In the past, I've had my logo or my name printed on the back. But yeah, these are adorable. I love them. So if you can't already tell, I am one very, very happy bunny with these enamel pins. I'm so thrilled with them, and as soon as they arrived in the box, I started to think about all the designs that I could possibly make into enamel pins. And I have to say, and I have fed this back to the manufacturers, that they have restored my confidence in just liaising as well, just getting my artwork vision and the whole process just sort of mapped out for me so that I understand it, I know what's happening, you get updates. So with enamel pins, most factories are based out in China, and there's not much that people in other countries can do about that. I know that in the UK, I think there might be a couple of factories. I know there's one for definite, but sometimes it's just much more straightforward and simple to go straight to Chinese factories. But I have to say, Hayley and Joyce, who I have been speaking to with the company, have been so helpful, so transparent, and just very supportive with any anxieties that I had. And I did confess to them, look, I've had like some fear in the past with enamel pins, and they completely put me at ease. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. Again, with sharing manufacturer information, I'm sharing with you because they approached me. I didn't have to spend the time looking for them, and I think like this is why me personally as an artist, when people come to me and say, what print do you use, what paper do you use, what manufacturer do you use, as the artist, you usually spend yourself all of that time doing the research, looking for a company, potentially ordering in samples, so you're also using your money as well to order in samples to then test the waters yourself for your own business needs. And when somebody comes along and wants that information for nothing, and it's like, I've just done all that legwork for you, and it's like, it's a little bit cheeky. But because this company approached me, I didn't have to spend the time and the energy looking for them. They approached me, and because this was a gifted opportunity, thank you so much to GSJJ once again for sending me these pins. I'm more than happy to share their information with you here on my channel, and hopefully get the ball rolling with you and your own enamel pin journey. If you do need more support with the artwork setup process, they do offer that. So if you just send them an email, explain your vision, what you want to do, they'll be more than happy to help you. But equally, if you have your own artwork already, I hope the vectorising process helps a little bit, and I hope it helps you gain some insight into how an illustration then turns into enamel pins. I've had these now for a few weeks at the time of filming this outro piece, and they've been so popular in the shop. You guys seem to love them, particularly the little bat pin. These are so cute, and I do still have a few left if you'd like to grab one for yourself. But yeah, both of them are now in the shop and I'm in love. Thank you so much once again to Hayley and Joyce over at GSJJ for arranging this collaboration, and once again I hope you found it useful. Thanks so much for watching everyone, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.